This is the last of the videos on control charts. In this video, I'm going to show you how to do a proportion chart or a P chart. So I'm going to open a file for this. I'm going to go to the OpEx data, the SPC, and go to P chart. So this, the scenario for this data has to do with surveying drivers to see how many of them kept spare tires in their cars, in the boots of their cars, I guess, considering this is definitely a European or at least a British data set with the spellings that are used here. So you can see, and in this scenario, I think it's a month. So for 1 month, in 1 month, 59 drivers were surveyed, 7 did not have spare tires. In the next month, 47 drivers surveyed, 5 had spare tire, 5 did not have spare tires, and so forth. So looking for trend over time, month by month, to see what proportion of drivers surveyed did not have spare tires. You can see the way the data is structured. You have the numerator in one column and the denominator in the other column. So unlike with the other kinds of control charts, this really does depend on 2 numeric values to be able to perform the calculation and display the data. So to create a P chart, go to Stat, Control Charts, and then we would go to Attributes Charts. And we go to P. You can see there's other kinds of attributes charts. Really, the P chart is the one we're going to focus on. All right, so the variables, it can plot, if we wanted to plot, if we had, say, for example, number of drivers without spare tires, number of drivers who were in an auto club, out of 59 surveyed out of 47 surveyed, you could plot multiple attributes, but in this case we just got the one variable, this number without spare tires, and then our subgroup size, so this is the denominator here, is the number of drivers questioned. So click on OK. And so what this is showing is the proportion. It's the P chart of the number without spare tires. This is the proportion. So the minimum value here is going to be 0. The maximum value would be 1. It's showing a proportion, so that's going to be your range 0 to 1. A lot of times, I know Iowa use the word proportion and percentage interchangeably, but they actually mean different things. So you can see in the first month, the proportion of drivers without spare tires was 0.1186. In the third month, it was 0.145. You can see as we got to the 9th month, it was 0.5526. Clearly, that's an out of control data point in this run of data here. The average proportion of drivers that did not have spare tires for the full set of data collected was 0.2468, or about 25%. One very notable thing about this control chart versus the others that you've seen so far is that we don't have straight lines here. The other kinds of charts we created, there were straight lines across there. In the X bar chart, which was plotting an average for a subgroup, even there we had straight lines. Well, the reason for that was because the subgroups were of equal size. So in that X bar chart example, there were always 5 in the sample. So there were 5 observations, averaged and plotted. The next 5 averaged and plotted. And so when you have equal sample sizes or equal subgroups, you'll get those straight across lines. But you can see in this data here, in the first month we had 59, the next month 47, and so forth. So that varies. The denominator changed in size. And so what we get are these kind of sawtooth or jagged-edged control limits. So yeah, the control limit in this month is a little bit higher than the control limit in this month. Still, the portion over the whole range is 0.246. This data point is an out of control data point, so it's statistically unlikely. given all the other data we see in this range. And we can see that there is a change over time. The proportion of drivers don't have spare tires seem to go up, and it sort of seems to come back down. You may see cyclical phenomena in your data. And the nice thing about plotting data over time is you can see what those cycles look like. And this certainly shows it here. As with the other kinds of control charts, you can add features like reference line if there's a goal or something. You can also add stage breaks. So if, for example, we had maybe these are seasonal periods. So maybe you have, winter months, and then it goes into spring and summer and fall, back to winter. You could add stages showing that there were effectively different ranges of variation or different trends within those periods. So you can add stages if you need to. Yeah, so in this case, it would be under P-chart options, and we would use some other column here to define what those stages are. And that's it for control charts. Please let me know if you have any questions.